Although they weren't as bad as Woody Harrelson at AMAs, we've got more questions than answers from a recent one done by Sledgehammer Games to go over for the Call of Duty news of the week. Other than just acknowledging questions without giving any substance of answers on things like the PC port of the game and if Call of Duty World War II will be a new story arc or a one-off game, there was some new 411 that came out of the Reddit AMA. The biggest bombshell was the fact that supply drops were definitely confirmed for the first time, although if you saw the Divisions Pack pre-order bonus with the not at all inconspicuous dress-up items, you'd already know that there would be loot boxes in the game. The full text is as follows, quote, all weapon variants and gear variants in Call of Duty World War II supply drops are cosmetic only, so there are no stat-based variants in play. We're also offering players collections and collection bounties, giving a direct path for our community to earn items through all modes of multiplayer and headquarters play. And quote, historical grounding of weapons and uniforms is important to delivering on the immersive feel of World War II at launch. Let's parse through these words for a second here. First, they talk about supply drop items are cosmetic only and no stat-based variants. Does this mean that there are weapon variants, as Condry's now deleted tweet refers to? Secondly, the collections seem to be like the Modern Warfare Operation pieces, so that loot is segregated to only those collections that you want, and the supply drops are earnable by playing the game, but you bet your ass that COD points will come into play at some point. But it's still unclear from this statement here. In the second post, they end the statement with, at launch, which is a nice weasel way of saying if people don't buy enough of our shit to make Activision, spelled with $ happy, then we're going to be adding in gingerbread-suited Nazis that dab in the winner's circle. The next big news is about the 2%ers, or the competitive scene, as rank play and games battles integration was confirmed, along with clan wars not being supported because pump stomping is so 2013, and having MLGE athletes out to play the game since they obviously know how to shape the game for the average Timmy no-thumbs. There was also a comment that the war game mode might be coming to competitive alongside of Hardpoint and S&D, but nothing yet on CTF or Uplink. Speaking of war, Sledgehammer Games also indicated that with the maps for that particular game mode, along with the maps on different fronts of the war and HQ, that this is the most amount of multiplayer content ever delivered. We'll see about that when things like Theater Mode and Last Stand are not going to be in the game, but fuck you, Last Stand. When asked about tick rate and dedicated servers, they dodged the latter, but for the former, they indicated that when bandwidth allows, packets will be updated at 60 Hz in both directions, which is a huge improvement over the 20 Hz in the current Call of Duty games. Again, the PR smear is all over that response with, quote, when network bandwidth allows, so stop using Starbucks Wi-Fi to play your fucking games and plug in your shit directly. Lastly, in multiplayer, they talked about female soldiers, which kind of contradicts the historical grounding of weapons and uniforms being important to delivering the immersive feel. But Condry's response on a recent Codcast episode where he broke down the multiplayer trailer sums up his sentiment.
With one of our female characters.
Yeah, look, this was an interesting conversation that's been pretty active in the community, which we love. We love the fact that we could have this dialogue. And, our take is pretty simple. This is about putting you in multiplayer in this conflict. Whatever version of you want to take into this conflict. And look, the campaign is really focused on authenticity and respecting and telling this really grounded story. Mm-hmm. Multiplayer has a lot of liberties, right? I mean, score streaks and respawns and a lot of things that really are about making this a fun piece of entertainment that's competitive and social. And we want to allow you to have your hero in the war. Yeah. Whatever your gender, whatever your nationality, you take you into the war, whether you're on the Allied side or the Axis side.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't study what my opponent looks like or what they're wearing because I'm too fucking busy trying to kill their ass. Stop worrying about what other characters look like and start trying to make yourself better at the fucking game, will ya? Michelle also mentioned score streaks in the video, and in a recent interview with The Guardian, the beans were spilled about an area of the HQ whereby players could test out score streaks on bots, as well as hinting that there will be a dog score streak despite it not being in the E3 build of the game. Lastly, in the Ask Me Anything were questions about zombies, which we were told that more info will be coming at San Diego's Comic-Con, which takes place on July 20th. It was also announced via a tweet that zombies will not be in the beta. On to Infinite Warfare news, as believe it or not, a DLC map pack dropped yesterday for the game without even a shred of hype, as the trailer dropped after the patch did to enable DLC 3 called Absolution. It starts off with a panorama shot of stills through the 4 multiplayer maps, which all take place on Earth for some reason, even though this game has an intergalactic setting, and if you're already there, why not use the fresh ideas for locations? Anyways, first is Bermuda, and from the looks of it, you'd rather be lost at sea than playing on this shit. The description of the map is as follows, quote, a shantytown created around the remnants of a crashed ship. Almost word for word matches decommissioned from Modern Warfare 3, quote, a graveyard of rotting ocean liners has given birth to a shantytown of locals. Seriously, I knew you guys recycled ideas, but come the fuck on! And why the fuck are they playing CTF when it's not even a game mode in Infinite Warfare after the XP exploit forced the devs' hands to remove it? Then is Permafrost, since I guess Frost was already the name of another DLC map, and this one looks like Office from CSGO, fuck the Division. Check out all the different colored lasers in this shot and tell me they couldn't have put this on another planet, considering all the ones after Earth are cold as fuck. After that is Ember, which is a reskin of Resistance from Modern Warfare 3. Well, not really, it kind of looks like the same fucking thing, but with more textures, and the fact that you could wall run on the walls instead of treading up the stairs. Is that a double kill with a howitzer? Now I know that this is a scripted trailer. Can't wait for those Spawn Trap Penta Deatomizer videos to show up on YouTube. Lastly is 4, which takes place on a mini golf course, so naturally a ball should be rolling out of bounds. Make sure you add a stroke to your score, you cheating little cum dumpster. There's nothing mini about the biggest map in the DLC, and it even throws in the whimsical goofy crap that most people lost their shit about when Treyarch made that picnic map micro. Also, there are going to be new weapon variants, as you see an E-Rad turn into a shotgun here, and even the hit detection in trailers are suspect. I mean, come on, that sniper shot went 3 feet over that dude's fucking head. As the multiplayer goes into the future, Zombies goes back in time to the 50s with Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Not only are there a plethora of zombies to kill, but there will also be these crab walking on hind legs looking motherfuckers to deal with. And the only thing our heroes have is a wind-up ray gun and Elvira, who bucked all of the trends of females of the era who knew their role and stayed out of World War II multiplayer games and in the kitchen making me a sandwich. Wait, wasn't Elvira's movie Macabre a show in the 1980s? I guess I should stop expecting consistency from the zombies mode in this game. Initially, there were fixes in the patch which was deployed, including changing the CTF win challenge to tactical wins, whereby you get rewarded for playing games with a tactical rule set, aka camping your dick off, since, as I mentioned earlier, there hasn't been CTF since the 3rd week of the game's life cycle, considering it's a shit version of Uplink for competitive anyways. But, as a kind gesture, it will be the featured playlist starting today for the next week. There's also a new Taurista 24/7 playlist, which has double XP, if you want to play a shitty DLC map that was probably cut from the base game because it's more convoluted than the Matrix movies, and since Infinity Ward takes 1 step forward and 2 steps back, Retaliation and Neon have been removed to work on bug fixes, now making it 3 maps that are MIA, if you include Genesis from the last patch. However, all 7 people that have DLC number 2 will be happy to know that those maps are now in regular rotation, only 2.5 months after the map pack dropped. It's too bad there's no fix for the awful hit registration that was so bad that even the codcasters at a recent LAN event couldn't damage control it.
It's their way through. So very well played from them, but shots not connecting there. What was that about?
Okay. Not too sure what happened there, but on board with the Willers, they will get away with it.
And some new bundle in the game with 5 rare and 1 legendary supply drop, but ain't inflation a bitch? Finally, in Call of Duty news, the worst COD game in history, Ghosts, is now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Wait, Ghost is already available on the Xbox One. Why the fuck would you need to make it backwards compatible? Oh, I know, all those $1 Black Friday Ghosts on the Xbox 360 deals actually populated the player base enough to justify it? I sincerely doubt it, but someone in the comments let me know how many people are playing Ghosts on what platform, since it was the last Call of Duty game to actually have some balls and post player counts. I've been the Schwantz27, over like Kovalchuk's 2017 NHL comeback. Until next time.